All right, everyone, it's time to talk about Beijing Biden's first day as president. Well, half day yesterday. Today's his first full day, of course, as the Asterisk President, the president in name at least. First and foremost, though, there is a pinned comment if you're watching on YouTube with 4 links to other video sites that I use. You may have noticed for 3 days I didn't even use YouTube. I couldn't, and so people were wondering where I was. I was still uploading on every other site, so you should go to them and watch the videos that I did. Now, that was because YouTube's verification system sucks ass, and I happened to travel from continent to continent because I'm also in the Netherlands with my wife. Interesting times, but anyway, he's already failed. Our asterisk president wasn't even in office for a full day, and he's already angered a bunch of people. Number one, signed back off Keystone XL. So angered the Canadians, our closest economic allies, by the way. So angered Canada, basically said, well, several tens of thousands of jobs won't be generated, but basically fuck these middle-class workers, these blue-collar Americans. In the process, at least, marginally increasing gas prices over the future because Keystone XL won't be made. Then he decided that trans athletes should be on women's sports teams, and if they get any funding, they have no choice. Feminists are correctly pointing out that this is a bad idea for fairly clear-cut biological reasons, simply because of differential muscle mass. And there's no requirement that the individual do anything other than identify as female. So in other words, if you're a man who's of, somewhat above average strength and stuff, and you enter a woman's sports team and say, well, I feel female, well, they can't bar you from that. That's going to become a problem. It's going to become a major legal challenge over the next few years. Also, you can now list your pronouns on the White House contact page. So I guess we've got progress there. We're progressive now. You can list your pronouns as they and them or Zeerfolk or whatever you want to do. And so he's failed, essentially, in his first day. Also, he removed the bust of Winston Churchill from the Oval Office. I wonder why he would possibly do that. Doesn't seem to be a very big fan of that. And also, Antifa is rioting still. It's interesting. They didn't magically go away because Beijing Biden happened to be there. It's funny, they have signs like, we don't want Biden, we want revenge. Well, rational liberal individuals were warned for many months that Antifa, they want to shoot you. You do realize this, correct? They literally want to hang you. If you're like a regular middle-class liberal, the fact that you say, well, I like minorities and welfare and I like green energy, they don't give a flying fuck, dude. They don't want all of those things. They really want a corporate fascist state in the name of communism, which isn't technically even their ideology half the time. That's what they actually want. So yeah, Beijing Biden is, and also we're signing back on the Paris Climate Accords. Can't forget that one. So we're going to send more jobs and industry overseas, where it won't be, by the way, properly managed. If you take a factory in the U.S. and put it in China, all you do is you end up depressing wages in both countries, number one. Slavery in the latter, by the way, number two. You think that pollution controls are as good in China or India or something like that as they are in the U.S.? Here we got stringent standards. A lot of the industry already left because of that. But it's out of sight and out of mind. See, liberals tend to be nimbiers. People like Beijing Biden exploit this. Biden is going to keep making the same money, and the corporate buddies that he gets his money from will keep being rich, regardless of where the factory is. In fact, if they put it in China, their profit margin's higher. They've got few workers' rights, few environmental protections laws, and if you pay a little bit of money to the local authority, you bribe them, they'll look the other way if you outright rape your slaves all day. That's what Beijing Biden wants. He wants a world in which everyone's exploited by one another's corporations and multinational billionaires. So a Chinese billionaire can come and fuck U.S. workers. A U.S. billionaire can go and fuck Thai workers. A Thai billionaire can set up shop in Poland and fuck workers there. That's what they want. Essentially a new serfdom. But it's a global serfdom. It's true imperialism. They've essentially have ruled the world. You're just only doing it in a loose sense. And it's not a dictatorship. It's an oligarchic, a plutocratic arrangement. This is the sort of economy that Beijing Biden wants. This is, by the way, what Trumpism, what populism seeks to avoid. America first. And that brings us to another point. We've got caravans of migrants currently marching from Central America, making their way up towards the United States. What does Biden decide to do? Despite the fact that the land is already allocated and the money's already allocated, he's decided not to complete the rest of the border wall that's already fucking bought and paid for. Well, he's doing this because it's part of his shtick about caring about the migrants. I care about immigrants so much. No, you don't. You're making no attempt to reform the legal immigration process to take pressure off the illegal immigration. You're basically telling people to make the dangerous, sometimes 1,000-mile trek to the U.S. border, getting raped probably along the way, sometimes enslaved or killed in many cases. These people are desperate, and Beijing Biden is exploiting it as a political issue. He wants a permanent slave class in the USA that corporations can use essentially as underground labor. There's no minimum wage law if it's an illegal immigrant. Do you honestly think these people will ever pass E-Verify? Which, by the way, I don't even support. Guard the border properly. You don't need such things. Yeah, we should take care of the situation once and for all, but if you think Beijing Biden is going to do that, no, in his first 100 days in office, he's going to stab the left in the back, but he's going to do stupid corporatistic shit like this. It's going to be right back to the Obama era with 4 years of goddamn doldrums, because the people that control him are the same people that have controlled all of the presidents since Ronald Reagan. Other than Donald Trump. He is the only one with latitude and independence because he came from the same corporatistic class, but he came from the Reagan pre-modern mentality where the corporation sought to expand itself primarily through deregulation and a differential tax code as opposed to multinational trade deals. See, that's the difference between the globalist system post-1988, essentially, and the late pre-modern situation from roughly the end of World War II, or you could say the end of the FDR sort of socialist bullshit up through the end of Ronald Reagan. That golden period in U.S. history, our golden age, has been pissed away by globalists. So Beijing Biden has already failed. And he's done exactly on guns and on immigration. He's totally left the left behind. And that's why Antifa will continue to riot. But you can look for one thing, the governors and mayors now will be allowed to actually respond to the rioting. It won't go away, but it'll probably be just in Portland at some point. That's basically their HQ in North America. That's about all. Peace out.